Advisory Committee.
Yes.
Let's give a warm welcome to Chris Crackman.
Sorry, I didn't want to talk up or down, or I like to move around a little bit. The whole point of that introduction was to let y'all know that I am virtually nobody. I'm a blue-collar worker. I work in welding supply. I don't have a big, long list of education credentials. I'm just like every one of you, and I'm a husband and I'm a father. I'm a member of the community that got really, really upset with overreach. That was the whole point. So I'm from Blanchard. I've been in weld supply 17 years. I've been just like most of everybody and been complacent about everything that's been going on until, like Danny said, they wouldn't let us alone. We had a Unified Development Code in Caddo Parish where they started coming and taking private property rights. And if y'all aren't familiar with that, go on the Caddo Alliance for Freedom Facebook page and inform yourself, because it's a really bad deal, but I don't want to get too far from the issue. So we got upset. We called on Danny McCormick to write us legislation. We formed a small group of 5 or 6 people. It ended up being almost 4,000 people. With those 4,000 people, we had Danny write legislation, go down to Baton Rouge. We all talked to committees, and they passed a law unanimously on both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat. I think it's safe to say that anybody can recognize overreach, regardless of what side of the aisle they're on, unless there's a benefit. And in a lot of cases, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at cash benefits on the hearts of your children. Your children are the ploy for cash benefits for the state. Now, it's a little different. Private property rights, we had to go door to door. We walked all over Dixie Gardens. We walked all over Blanchard. We went everywhere. We had to beg people to be upset about their private property rights being taken. Well, here we are now, and they're wanting to take your medical rights. They're wanting to take the rights of your children. So now we have an unmasked group that's up probably close to, 9,000? It ain't hard to get people upset about taking the autonomy of their children. And that's exactly what we're talking about. So if you're not upset, you need to be. Like I said, I don't want to get too far off of the subject of masks, vaccines, medical autonomy. But let's look. We've been complacent for a long, long time. I was just as well to leave my job, go home, watch a baseball game, and not worry about what's going on with the government. Nobody ever worries about what's going on until it's knocking at your door. Well, listen, the state of our nation right now, we have open borders. Violent crime in all of the cities is skyrocketed. We got mandates, medical mandates. We're paying people to stay home and not work. We have insane liberal spending bills that are passing on a bipartisan basis. We have defund the police going on. Can you believe that? Could you ever imagine in any of your lifetimes that anyone would ever say defund the police? Well, because of our complacency, it's happening. Look at Portland, Oregon. It's a third world country right now. We have the highest inflation since 2008. Gas prices are through the roof. We have mass amnesty. The taxes are through the roof, and boy, they're climbing. They're still going. So if you're not upset about that, then at least get upset about the rights of your children being taken. Because that is what's happening. And again, it doesn't matter about party affiliation. No one wants the rights of their kids taken away or their right to make a medical choice for their child. They don't. And I would never say, don't do something that you think is for the safety of your child. I'm not going to sit here and say anything about the mask, about the vaccinations. I'm not. There's plenty of people out here that will. I promise you if you want to hear it. And I wrote down all kind of numbers and everything, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and give y'all percentages and talk about particulates and aerosols. Nobody cares. The fact of the matter is it should be your and your child's right to put a muzzle on or not. And the way I look at it is there's a lot of politicians. There's a city councilman for Shreveport last night who should have chosen to put a muzzle on and shut up. Nobody cares about the numbers. Nobody cares about the science. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, are you ignorant enough to cover up your face or not? And they think you are.
Yeah, that's it. That's right.
And if you think that this is just a few people that are here, we had Louisiana state law changed, and we started with 6 people. If you don't think you can make a difference, go look it up. Look up House Bill 697 and see how it turned this entire parish upside down. 9,000 people just out of the gate. You can get your kids' rights back. You can get your kids' medical autonomy back. All you have to do is be the squeaky wheel and let them know you're not going to take it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to be an echo chamber. You're a hard act to follow, by the way. It's not easy. Being a political activist stinks. It's not fun. It's not. I'm in my phone constantly. I think my wife wants to choke me to death every night because I'm in my phone. I'm reading the Louisiana Constitution. What is a welding supply worker doing reading the Constitution? It stinks. It's not fun. But it is important. It is important for your kids, for your grandkids. You have to look into the future. Long after I'm gone, I don't want my kids to say, oh, you want me to cover my face up? Okay. That's ignorant. Now I know to do a lot of the activism and everything, to go before boards, commissions, and committees, to go to the school board on Tuesday, like I know you all will.
Right.
Whether you have school-age children or not, I want y'all to remember you're paying for it.
That's right.
You're paying for it. Even if you have a child that is in homeschool, you have them in homeschool because you don't agree with the Louisiana education system. Well, guess what? You still pay for it. Be at that school board meeting.
That's right.
I'm going to cut myself short, like I said, because you're a hard act to follow. But I'm going to ditch this.
There you go. There you go.
Listen, we have to remember something. And this is the most important thing we have to remember about this, about this great, great nation. Is we elect people to speak for you. You're acting through that elect. You pay them. You pay for their facility. You pay for their travel, their living expenses. Legislators have an apartment. Sometimes, every now and then, when they get out of line, which is a lot lately, they don't speak for you because you don't tell them what to say. Every now and then, you have to get in their face, get on their phone, get in their inbox, and you tell them what you expect them to do. Go down to your venue in Baton Rouge, go down to Government Plaza, go to the school board meeting, and you let them know what you expect of them because they have forgotten that you elected them to be your voice.
Yeah.
And they are not doing it.
Yeah.
Grab a hold of it and let them know their job. And if they're not doing a good job, get them out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or better yet, some of you that are out here in red, white, and blue, replace them.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it, you're probably a good candidate. Because sometimes patriotism is doing exactly what you don't want to do. Getting out of your comfort zone and getting in somebody's face.
Yeah.
Get up on the podium in front of whoever's horseshoe and tell them you're doing a crappy job and you need to find a better hobby.
Yeah.
We've done it time and time again. It works. Does anybody have any questions? Thank y'all so much.
Good job, Chris.